there was a lot of pride involved in what we were doing. Not all of us, but a lot of us that were on the team. That leads to arrogance and then cynicism. And cynicism is a cancer. If you don't deal with it, if you don't cut it out, it will take you down. And I think that's ultimately what happened. For me, growing up and seeing, what I saw, my dad was this crazy, amazing communicator, was an awesome musician, and he just had this way about gathering people. My earliest memories of seeing ministry be, something that I was really drawn to was watching my parents do a small group that turned from being a small group to people filling the entryway of our home to a place that they couldn't even sit in the room. And as a kid, I just felt like, man, I want to do that. I want to follow in those footsteps, and I want to be someone who can create space and moments for people to actually come to know who Jesus really is. Bible college was a really challenging time for me because here I am with this deep passion for and love for Jesus and ready to, step into a place where I could hopefully one of these days be, fit to do the work of the ministry, right? But as I got there, I started to find myself that it was really this big almost contest of how much knowledge do you have? What theologians are you reading? What doctrine are you really aligning yourself with? And it became this big tension, this big war, where people were constantly debating theology. I wasn't against any of those things, but what I saw was a lot of knowledge and a lot of arguing and a lot of wisdom there from the books that they were reading, but they were lacking in love. And the words of Charles Spurgeon were ringing in my ears. It says, "What good does it do to argue a man into the kingdom?" We're talking about a kingdom of love, a kingdom of experience, a kingdom where we're a bunch of broken, messed up people that ultimately find a perfect God, right? Instead, we're sitting here, standing in a place of debate, thinking that we're going to appeal intellectually with someone, and therefore now they're going to repent and have this radical transformation and move into this life with the Lord. And I have to say, man, I don't know that debate and argument is really the best route to go, because what people need is one moment in God's presence, and they need to experience His love in the core of who they are. And that's what will change your life. So during that time when I was in Missouri and I finished Bible college, I was actually playing music. I'd gotten invited to play with a worship band at this college ministry kind of retreat that was happening in Missouri. While I was there, I met a guy who was speaking. Within just a few moments, I knew, it was like, there's something different about this guy. I saw him not just spouting off what was typical, but I saw this practical love of Jesus with this super deep head knowledge at the same time. And I was like, wow, it's one of the first times I've ever seen these things married and in unity. And that was very appealing to me. And it just so happened he was a pastor of a small church that had just been started in Stillwater, Oklahoma. It was 450 college kids in the middle of the bar district of, Oklahoma State University. It was not common, and it was totally and completely flying in the face of what I had built up in my mind as what traditional ministry really was. Kind of had made the decision, I'm going to Stillwater, and my wife, or fiance at the time, was like, okay, I guess that's what we're gonna do. And we became support raising missionaries and moved to Oklahoma. First couple of years when we were in Oklahoma, man, I have to tell you, it was pretty unreal how amazing the worship experiences were and how amazing the ministry experiences were. We were doing worship conferences, and we were recording worship albums and traveling all over kind of the Oklahoma area and the Midwest and having some fun with that. It was really good, but there was a lot of pride involved in what we were doing. Not all of us, but a lot of us that were on the team. That leads to arrogance and then cynicism, and cynicism is a cancer. If you don't deal with it, if you don't cut it out, it will take you down. And I think that's ultimately what happened.